At the base of so much of what I'm saying in these videos, from social comparison to real versus ideal self to sexual frustration, at the base of it all is awareness. Awareness of yourself and awareness of your environment. For effective change to happen and personal growth and progress to happen, we first need an awareness. We need an awareness of what to change and how to change it and what we want to change it to. Like in a previous video of mine, it's the idea of the real self versus the ideal self and the gap in between that we're trying to close. For all this, you need awareness. From my experience, the best way to gain awareness about yourself, about who you are, who you want to be, why you want to be this version of yourself, why you aren't yet this version of yourself, the best way to gain this type of deep personal awareness, from my experience, is to put yourself in positions of intense vulnerability. I believe that two of the most vulnerable things that someone can do is to fall in love and to attempt to be creative. I've said this before and I'll say it again. One of the most terrifying things ever is letting your guard down and letting yourself fall in love with someone else. In this process of falling in love, you are essentially stripped naked, and all the tender, yucky, uncomfortable stuff inside of you quickly runs out of places to hide. You are left bare to face yourself. Talking to my friends and to others about falling in love and being in love and falling out of love, it truly is the most, like, falling in love and all that, it truly is the most humbling of experiences. I can't stress how much you learn about yourself. And from all that painfully gained knowledge, how much you grow when you fall in love. My fears of rejection, of deep down feeling unworthy, unlovable, undesirable, all these things have been put to the test in these kinds of situations. And a lot of the stuff that I have learned about myself, I would not have learned if it weren't for these encounters. The other extremely valuable way in which you can gain awareness and you can learn about yourself also is by tapping into your creative outlets and trying to create something that is your own. Not because anyone is telling you to, but because you just want to. By trying to be creative, by trying to put yourself out there, again, you quickly come face to face with a lot of your fears and vulnerabilities and insecurities, and in a way that doesn't really happen in a lot of other ways. And like with falling in love, it's very hard to hide from what you come face to face with when you're trying to be creative. Making this video series has been the most terrifying process. Like writing out stuff to say and then sitting down in this chair and like actually saying it and knowing that I would then edit it and in the near future like upload it for the public to watch, to judge, to critique, and what they're watching is a reflection of me and my creative process. And yeah, it's super nerve-wracking, like super nerve-wracking at times. Super valuable experience that all this has been. Being creative, like falling in love, it's beautiful. And it's beautiful because it's so hard. Because it's so terrifying. Super cheesy, but the best feelings in life, it's true, they don't just happen like that. It takes some work to experience them. It's what makes them so amazing. Making these videos has been like, simply put, the dopest fucking thing that I've ever done. It's been an absolute trip. And I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about my fears, how I've handled them, how I would like to handle them, how I want to go about handling them differently in the future. I've also gotten to put in some time and essentially put my money where my mouth is and actually do this. I've been wanting to be creative and to make YouTube videos, like not necessarily just on these topics, but just in general, been wanting to make videos for a long time now. And yeah, I would also like build up the process in my head of making them as something that I would really like and enjoy. And yeah, by now making them, I've been able to not just, like talk my own talk, but also walk my walk, and also just firsthand discover that I do actually like making videos. It's neat feeling. Falling in love and being creative, I believe, are so crucial to learning about yourself and for growing, and especially after university when you are a bit lost and confused and all that. Of course, you can't just wake up one morning and decide to go fall in love and, come back home that night having had fallen in love. But you can take an approach where you either constantly have or constantly are seeking for a creative outlet. Creative outlets, I believe, are so important to our mental health. They provide us with this unique form of release and expression, and you can, I'll argue, you can even frame love and relationship as a type of creative outlet, because it puts you in this position to be vulnerable and to be yourself and to express yourself and to let your intense feelings and passions out there and to discover in turn organically how they go about showcasing themselves to your partner, to your friends. In university, my creative outlet was my friends. They were my outlet for being myself and for being imaginative and for allowing me to dare and to dream and to say and share and express just like ridiculous things. In a lot of ways, they still are a huge part of my creative outlet. And same goes with just relationships in general. I've really come to view like social interactions as a form of creativity and self-expression and just, yeah, self-release. So yeah, creative outlets, including the creative outlet of falling in love, can do wonders for your mental health.